The chairman of the Lagos State Sports Commission, Deji Tinubu, is with us in the studio. Deji, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Nice to be here.
Happy Independence Day also.
Same to you.
It's been a long journey for sports in Nigeria. Deji, 57 years of sports. We've come a long way, but how far off are we still struggling?
We're still struggling. I mean, we can't hide from the fact. But I think the only way out, in my honest opinion, is whoever's at the top needs to understand. We saw the clip, Shego Degbame's clip, and I think it boils down to whoever's at the top. If the person at the top doesn't understand, the power of sports, what sports can do, then, I'm afraid, we're not going to get, very far, because, we've got people in pockets of places who are trying to do stuff, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't come from the top and then spreads all over the place, then we'll still be struggling.
So that's it. We're still struggling. Hopefully, we'll get out of it. Leadership can actually take us out of that. Deji, let's talk about development of sports generally. What's the Lagos State model?
Lagos State model, like I said, person at the top. Luckily for Lagos, we have a governor who understands sports. If someone like me, or even someone like you, Austin, engages His Excellency in sports, you have to be on your toes, right? Now, it's not all about the passion. Is showing or doing things that would want people to come into sports. Shego Degbami mentioned, the enabling environment, right? It's also creating opportunities. It's also creating variety. Not everybody wants to play football. Not everybody wants to play basketball. It's all about creating something that anybody in Lagos, can find something to do or somewhere to go or a sport to be to engage in. So it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's more than racket games. It's more than court games. We've done Monopoly. We introduced Monopoly only this weekend. We partnered with an initiative to bring netball back to Lagos. There's a reason, a particular reason why we've homed in on netball. So it's creating bridging the divide. You've got a set of people who are in one part of the country and will never, because there's that bridge, that sport, the bridge isn't there, will never engage or interact with another set of people, right? We're creating stuff to bring everybody together. For example, in our school sports, we don't use the terms private and public schools. Okay. It's Lagos State schools. That's right. If you're a school in Lagos State and we're doing something, you are allowed to take part in it. Okay. We'll reach out to everybody. So it's closing the divide. Rich and poor, sports takes that away. Even people living with disabilities as well. That's right. We take all those barriers away, and that's what Lagos is trying to do. That's right. That's all encompassing, getting everyone involved. I would like that. Deji, I'm talking about creating an enabling environment. Very, very important. And infrastructure is key. Sometime last week, we got into your social media handle and you said good news coming our way. Now, Nikon Stadium, we go through some reconstruction. How true is that? It's already started. It's shut down now. The demolition works have started. We're looking at 12 months, and then we'll have a brand new stadium, seating 5,500. And one of the key aspects, apart from the heritage and the history of the Onikon Stadium, also in that whole space, the Onikon space, there's a regeneration going on. J.K. Randall Memorial Center is being rebuilt. The museum is being rebuilt. Lagos State government just had recently control of the federal government guest house, which is going to be a center of heritage and things. So the whole space, and if we have a stadium right in the middle of that, it has to go the same way as well. So the whole area there's a regeneration going in the whole area. If you've got fantastic places, I mentioned J.K. Randall. Onyekon is going to be a kind of place where you can walk through and everything you want, if it's a cafe, if it's a business place, a sports place and everything, a leisure area where you can work, and anything you want, you'll find there. So obviously, it reminds me of a stadium in Monaco, right? Not big, 15,000, so that's small compared to other stadiums. But what does it do? It does a lot for the city. It still does a lot for the city, and that's what the Nikon Stadium would do for the Lagos Island.
Right. And it lets the people come
back into sports.
That's right. It belongs to it. Okay, so that's it. That's the confirmation we want to get. The Nikon Stadium work has already started. The National Stadium also. There's a time Lagos was really interested. Is Lagos still interested?
We are still interested. We have a fantastic plan for the National Stadium. Lagos, if Lagos is handed the National Stadium now, we want to bring back what the National Stadium should be, nicknamed Sports City. We want to put a Sports City in there. But, you know, the Lagos State government put their cards on the table, and then we're keeping our fingers crossed, waiting for a reaction.
So that's it. So that was when Deji popped up with that information that His Excellency Akinwumi Ambode has approved the reconstruction of the Nikon Stadium. Contractors have moved to site. Brand new stadium in 12 months. So we're counting down Nikon Stadium, all of the history it gives to us as regards football in this country and sports in general. It's good to see a brand new stadium. We'll make good use of it. Grassroots is also very, very important. Lagos State, I can say anytime, any day, does so well with the grassroots. Deji, how bad does it hurt you that the state didn't feature the national games?
We're very, very disappointed for the athletes. But Austin, there's a grand plan. The subtle reforms going on in Lagos State that you'll get to hear in the very near future. So as much as we're disappointed that didn't go, we're excited about what's going to happen to them in the near future. So, you know, we'll be talking to them, explaining the issues, explaining what they have ahead of them. Because if in the last couple of months we're majoring in school sports, if in the last couple of months we're majoring in grassroots initiatives, then obviously you know there's an end point for all that. We're trying to create processes where once you're discovered, there's a pathway to greatness. Okay. We're trying to, you know, put all that in place. And, you know, when you start doing that, there's some things that would have to shift. There's some things that would have to make way for the greater picture. And that's what we're doing at the moment.
So it's all about continuity. So they don't just compete at competitions and they will forget it because it's a grassroots stage.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's it. We can hold on to that because we'll be getting loads of calls. We got ready, we were prepared.
I mean, like I said, we're all touched, but we're all disappointed, especially for the young ones who'd worked very, very, very hard. But, you know, there's still light at the end of the rainbow for them. Okay, so that's it with that. Let's talk about the Agege Stadium. The Agege Stadium has brought good memories. MFM plays there, and then now we're hearing the NFF, they are inspecting it. They will see if they can take the ITO Cup final game there. Will Lagos State play any role in that? We have to receive official communication from them first about the use of the Agege Stadium, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, so did you try and tell us that they don't know anything about it?
No, I said we'll get official confirmation and communication from them. I mean, we've talked about it, but, you know, everything needs to be, you know, documented and official. Okay, let's talk about the one that Lagos State must just come to assist. MFM will be playing the continent, and the CAF Champions League is a big deal. I don't care if they've committed to you or not, but the CAF Champions League is coming to Lagos. How excited is Lagos State? You know, how many years has it been? You know, first it started off with, you know, nearly 20 years since we had the team in the Premier League, and now I think in 3 years they're playing on the continent. So that's fantastic news for them. We're all excited about it, and of course, like Lagos always does, we're going to create the enabling environment for them. When they came into the Premier League, they came to us, the two teams, and Ikorodu United came to us. We sat down, and nearly everything they requested of us, we provided for them. Agege, they made Agege their home. It's a fantastic atmosphere anytime they go. They play there, and I've enjoyed it. The games I've been there to watch. So it's fantastic that they're on the continent. They look like a team that would do well on the continent, and you know, we will sit down. I'm sure through the FA will come to us, and then you know, with MFM we'll all sit down, and then everything they want, you know, that would help them succeed and do well on the continent. Lagos State will provide.
Lagos has also been known for some prominent sporting competitions. We just ended the Lagos Open in table tennis, well attended. The governor was there. What other sporting events should we expect?
We've got them. That was the second leg of the 4 classics for this year. We did the badminton, the table tennis. We've got the squash. We've got taekwondo coming up as well this year. And then, of course, we're hoping to continue with our secondary school championships as well.
And also loading the Lagos Governor Tennis Championship.
Yeah, again, how many years? 17 years now. So, you know, it just shows how determined, how focused Lagos is. Because one of the things we've said we want to do, make ourselves an international sports hub. We've seen the kind of tennis players that have come through the Governor's Cup and have gone on to be champions on the circuit. And then for it to run for 17 years, that's consistency. So what it means is that nearly every junior player in tennis will put that in the calendar because it's consistent, because, you know, they've managed to keep a certain level in terms of play. And then, you know, we've got, if you go back again, if we go forward in a couple of months' time, we've got the marathon, you know, and we've got the Copa Lagos coming out at Lagos. Will be involved in this year. So we're trying to create things that will make people want to come into Lagos. And it's not all about the sports. It's about seeing the excellence of Lagos, the tourism potential of Lagos, the hospitality of Lagos. You know, so Lagos is right for people to come into Lagos. You know, for all these things.
All of these events, Deji, how much of a problem is funding?
Again, you know, I say it comes down to the person at the top. Right, His Excellency Governor Ambode understands. He knows the role that sports plays. He knows the role that the government has to play in setting ourselves to become the kind of sports hub that we want to be. And then, you know, if he's got people around him, give him the right advice. And like I've always said, you can't, you know, pull wool over his eyes, right? So he knows these things. So, you know, he's got a vision, and it's not all about sports, it's about everything surrounding sports. There's a word he plays with, THESE, tourism, hospitality, entertainment, and sports for excellence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he wants Lagos to be more than a business hub. He wants people to come to Lagos and experience all these kind of things in Lagos. And, you know, if we talk about kids now, you can only attract a young person through entertainment and sports, if we're going to be very, very honest. Yeah. So you want to engage them and then put them on the proper pathway, right? So why don't you do it?
That's right. Thank you so much. Deji Tinubu, Chairman of Lagos State Sports Commission, is speaking to us. Let's go on this final break. When we come back, Deji used to be involved with the NFF. He'll talk to us about football in Nigeria. Don't go anywhere. Stay.